the Viking Age, when medieval, horn-helmeted Scandinavian men ravaged Europe, scribbling mysterious runes and toasting their victories in goblets forged from enemy skulls, before bidding farewell in fiery funerals. Except that's not quite how it went. It's unclear where the word Viking came from, but in Old Norse it apparently referred to an act of maritime raiding. Historians long pinned the start of the Viking Age to a brutal ambush on an English monastery in 793 CE, which the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle described as an onslaught of lightning, fiery dragons, and heathen men. The more recent discovery of Scandinavian artifacts at a site in Estonia suggests that Viking activity began decades earlier. But whatever the precise 8th century start, it persisted for the next 300 years. We don't know exactly what prompted all this Vikinging, but volcanic activity in the mid-500s triggered a mini ice age that destabilized Scandinavia. Its society grew increasingly militarized, and like many warrior-based peoples, local chieftains legitimized their rule through gift-giving. So, wealth-acquiring expeditions helped maintain authority. Meanwhile, new seafaring technology enabled ships to navigate both shallow rivers and open oceans. Most Scandinavians didn't participate directly, but Viking raids could offer young men the opportunity to amass riches, to afford land, and marriage. These raids were unquestionably violent. But Vikings didn't use their victims' skulls as goblets, though this has been recorded in history, looking at you, Shah Ismail. This myth likely arose when a 17th century Danish scholar called Ole Vam mistranslated a reference to animal horns. Beyond killing, Viking invasions also involved mass capture. Vikings enslaved and sold people into human trafficking networks or sent them to labor in Scandinavia and its colonies, as was the case for many Irish captives in Iceland. Over time, small-scale attacks on vulnerable coastal communities evolved into sieges on cities. Temporary camps grew into permanent communities, and trade networks spread even farther. Viking-era Scandinavian chieftains may have drunk German wine from Egyptian glass, while clad in Chinese silks and Indian gemstones. But they did not wear horned helmets. This image was popularized in 19th century stage productions, specifically Richard Wagner's The Ring Cycle, an epic mythologized account of Germanic history. While archaeologists have found Scandinavian horned helmets, they preceded Vikings by 2,000 years and were likely used in rituals, not battle. Instead, high-status Vikings might have worn iron helmets with brow bridges, while others donned leather caps. And we aren't sure these warriors were always men. In 1878, researchers excavated gravesite remains since interpreted as belonging to a high-status warrior, which a 2017 analysis found to be female. Viking society was undeniably patriarchal, but discoveries like this hint at our incomplete understanding of the social complexities at play. As for funerary customs, 10th century Arab traveler Ibn Fadlan recorded witnessing a burning boat funeral along the Volga. However, it's unclear if these were in fact Vikings, and it occurred on land, without flaming arrows and with sexual violence and human sacrifice. Popular Viking funeral depictions are likely modern inventions. Vikings didn't appear to have one funerary practice, and both buried and cremated their dead. Regarding runes, Germanic peoples began writing with them around the 2nd century. They came to be used to bridge the physical and spiritual worlds, and for more mundane matters. While some reference past events, Viking Age runes typically didn't record detailed narratives. Old Norse only became a literary language after Christianized Icelandic scholars adopted Latin script around the 12th century. So actual Viking Age accounts generally originate from traumatized victims and cultural outsiders, restricting our insights into how Vikings understood themselves and their world. The Viking Age is traditionally said to have ended in 1066, with a battle won by English troops, though some incursions continued. In Scandinavia, power shifted towards centralized Christian monarchies and state-sponsored conquest, like crusading. Meanwhile, the Scandinavian diaspora flourished in Iceland and integrated into other European societies. For centuries, the term Viking went unused, until the 1800s when nationalism swept Europe and people began invoking it to gesture at a romanticized, shared Germanic past. This mythos persists today, even as new discoveries reveal just how little we know of the Viking world, and shapes that once seemed certain recede into the thick mist of time. If you enjoy learning about history, subscribe to this channel, because the lessons of yesterday can help us face the challenges of today.